Hi there and welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm IceMan and today we're going to do a champion guide on one of the new champions to the game, Tarshon. Now I pulled this guy recently, if you saw my sharp pull video in the 2x Ancients, and I must admit I was kind of on the fence. Do I want to build him, do I not want to build him? And in the end I decided, you know what, regardless of whether or not I'm going to ever use this champion, I'm going to build him for you guys, so that you can see what it is he does, where he's useful. Even if I'm not necessarily showcasing it to his best ability, it might give you some ideas. You might think, well, actually, you should have tried him there, and, you know, hey, tell me if that's what you think anyway, you know. I'm always happy to discuss my videos with people in the comments, so, you know, if you want to do that, leave a comment. Anyway, so, this guy, as I actually said when I pulled him in, sharp pull video, he has a face that only a mother could love, and yeah, he's a bit of a creepy looking chap. One hell of a smile on this guy, ear to ear, you know. Interesting aesthetic about him. Not quite right somehow, but yeah, what more can we say about it really? He's just a twisted looking chap, isn't he? As what somebody pointed out to me, one of my supporters watches every one of my videos. I really appreciate that. Cheers, mate. He actually said this guy looks like one of those chaps out of the Hellraiser films, and I can sort of see where he's going with that. I was thinking something similar myself, you know, creepy house, didn't he, you know, but what more can you say? So anyway, we'll start off with his kit, and his A1 is Diabolical Hook, because he's got a hook, you know, the hook. Attacks one enemy, has a 25% chance of placing a provoke debuff for one turn. Now I have fully booked him out, again just for you guys. I'll probably regret it at some stage, but you know, when I get somebody I really want to use and book up, but oh well, we do what we can on this channel. His buff chance increases by 10%, so we've got him up to 35% chance to land that provoke, and you can increase the damage by 15. The damage is nothing. I mean, this guy really kind of hits like a wet noodle. I mean, he's not totally trash for damage. He's very lower middle of the pack, or possibly higher bottom, but he's not impressing anybody with his damage enough to really go that route. His A2, Soul Shrivel, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. This can be booked out to 100%, and as you can see I have done, and booked down from 4 turns to 3. Demonic Possession, his A3, places a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns, and fills the turn meters of all allies by 20%. This starts off on a 6-turn cooldown and can be booked down to 4. It's a nice ability, I must admit. If they booked it down to 3, I think it'd be that little bit better, because it's not the highest turn meter increase, and you know, it lasts for 2 turns. But I mean, that basically means that you can have increased defense up 50% of the time. If you can get them running fast, you can get it up more than that. And obviously if you take some of those masteries, and if they proc right, or you bring a champ that resets cooldowns, whatever you do, you can get that up a lot more. And this is actually, to my mind, probably his best ability. The AoE weaken is actually really good. Since he's not a big damage dealer, I do wish that they'd given him a bit more utility with this. Even making it a decreased defense and weaken would have been really nice. Having said that, you know, 100% chance to place a weaken on an AoE against the whole team, that is really cool. And if you've already got somebody out there doing decreased defense, he can come in, he can speed boost your team, put increased defense on your team so they're taking less damage, and if they're defensive chances are also going to do more damage. And then on top of which, he puts out the weaken so that they've got the 2 major buffs out there to make you do more damage, you know, at the end of the day, which is great. Then he's got a passive which places a 25% strengthen buff on this champion for 2 turns whenever their HP drops below 50. You know, again, he could have been slightly buffed with this being on any team member who drops below 50. That would have actually been a little bit better. And rather than just a 4-turn cooldown, they could have then just said, once procced, it will take 4 turns for it to be used on them again or something like that. You know, I'm just thinking outside the box. But as it is, you know, he's a pretty decent champ. He's not game breaking. He's not one of the best that's come out. You know, I'm thinking chaps like Duck the Pierced, Duke the Pierced, Duck the Pierced. Oh, well, we're not doing that one again. We do it every time, but you know, we're not doing that one again. He's not game breaking, but he does have an interesting and cool kit. So he's not automatically trash. And although I look at this guy and I think there's nowhere for him really in my roster, well, I'm a whale. I'm not a huge whale. Maybe more of a minnow. Dolphin, perhaps? I don't know. Maybe not quite that big. Maybe more of a seal or something. But you know, although not looking at the belly, you know, then I'm more of one of those walrus thingies. But anyway, I'm grey enough to be that way anyway. So you know, it's like so. I digress. You know, I have a solid team, and for me, there's not necessarily a place in my teams for him. However, if you're coming up in the game, if you do not have somebody who does weaken, and if you need some turn meter boosting and some support, he's totally solid for that. Nothing more to say really there. So what masteries have I gone for? Well, because he doesn't do any damage, I did try him out in a damage set, I'll tell you, and I did damage masteries, and it just wasn't impressive. On any of his hits, he was lucky if he was getting 10k. So that's just not really any good. So we've gone down the defense tree to mitigate damage. And then obviously we've gone for the 2 counter-attack abilities here, because with his provoke, he's got, and you'll see in a minute, in fact, we've got a 35% chance to provoke. Well, no, because we took this, so we've actually got a 40% chance to provoke. It's not massive, but it's still decent. So 40% chance to provoke. We've taken the counter-attack masteries, meaning that when fears and stuns get placed on our teammates, we might go out and hit back, and there's a chance we're going to hit back with a provoke. If we take X amount of damage, we can hit back and provoke and keep damage from our teammates. So it kind of synergizes with his A1 there quite nicely. And then again, because he's got that weaken, because he's got that provoke, you want these things landing, so we've gone all out accuracy for this guy. So accuracy into more accuracy, something to reset his cooldowns, things to increase turn meter, and we've gone for Master Hexer to increase the duration of the weaken. It's the only one that will get increased. You could argue going down to the other one and taking lasting gifts for the increased defense to last longer. I've gone for the weaken. That's a personal choice thing. So let's take him into some content, shall we? So where do I think he's useful? Well, it's a difficult one. He does increase defense, and he can do a single provoke. If he did an AoE provoke, he'd be god tier for the spider, because then he gives you turn meter boost, he gives you increased defense, and he'd be provoking all those spiders. That'd be amazing. As it is, he only does a single provoke. If you've got nobody else, he can come in there, he can help boost turn meter, which obviously helps you keep going fast, which is great for the spider, and he can put that increased defense up to help your team survive. Other than that, I don't think he does do the AoE weaken, of course, which is also going to help the spider and the spider lings. So he's okay there, but he's not brilliant, and he is the right affinity, or at least neutral affinity. In the Fire Knight, again, he's actually strong affinity, but he only has a single hit. So if you bring him for the Fire Knight, you're bringing him for the utility he brings, with the turn meter boost and the increased defense and the weaken, not for anything else, because he does only have that single hit. Bit of a shame, but you know. Please tell me I'm getting that right. Fair enough. So, Ice Golem's Peak, you know, he's okay, he's not brilliant. Again, he's going to be boosting turn meter, increasing defense. He'll help you out for being pure support and nothing else there. And obviously the provoke has its place, because he can use it on the Terror Beasts to stop them putting up their thing. But again, because it's not an AoE provoke, you can only use it on one champ, and if you're not manualing it, he won't necessarily use it on the champ you want him on. So again, you're looking at him being there for the utility of the putting the weekend out there and the increased defense and the turn meter boost. And it is decent utility. You know, it just depends on your team and the team makeup you've got. Where I actually like him, and it's really odd, you'd think he just shouldn't be here because he's weak affinity. But actually, I quite like him in dungeon runs. I'm a moron. Dragon runs. You'll see. He's just speeded us all up. Put out the increased defense. Now we've got the weaken out there on everybody. And they go down. Obviously, we've got stuff to boost his turn meter. His speed. Oh, I forgot to do his gearing. We'll go back and do his gearing after this and jumble the video up a little bit, shall we? Because we do want to talk about the gear I've got him in and the sort of specs we've gone for. But as you can see, again, boosting turn meter, putting that increased defense up, keeping us ticking along nicely. I'm surprised he missed with that weaken there, considering the level of accuracy I've got on this guy. But I suppose there's always a chance for a miss. And again, he is also weak affinity, actually, to be fair. So weak hit, he's not necessarily going to get it. Now, obviously, you can argue that the reason we're doing so well here is the other champs I've brought. However, I had somebody else in here, probably from another guide or whatever, and we were doing this run so much slower with the other champion versus him. That increased turn meter and the sustainability that he brings with the increased defense are big. They are really big. They really make the difference. There you go, 148. That's only, what, 15 seconds or so slower than my fastest run. That's the difference he can bring, and that's without Fushan in the lead for a speed lead. So, you know, which is how I got that fastest run originally. So, totally solid. I mean, again, he's not doing any damage. We've not built him to do any damage. He's there as a support champion to speed you along, increase your defense, and put that weaken out there. And he does all of those brilliantly. So, we kind of messed up. So, we're going to go back. We're going to look at his gear. Artifacts. We'll take a look at his total stats first. So he's got 30k health, not massive, just decent. Attack we've not worried about. He's a defense based champion, does his damage off of defense. He's got 4.3k defense, which is nice and solid. It's not the highest out there, but again, you'll know that I don't build these champions to be at their highest for these guides. I want to show you them at sort of a mid-level, how you'd go, how many people can achieve, and know what this guy's going to do for you. Obviously, if you put him in higher gear, he's going to do even more for you. He's going to be more survival and tanky and last even better and all the rest of it. Crit rate, crit damage, I'm not worried about these on him. The resistance, I wouldn't mind that being higher. But we've got him at a really solid 376 accuracy. So, pretty decent for the arena. You're not going to go into platinum arena with that, but in gold, that's pretty solid. And obviously it's good enough even for the hard Doom Tower. So what have we got on him? We've got an accuracy banner, defense neck, defense ring. Now this is 6-star, but again, that's why I've left it not rolled up. Although to be fair, there's a few pieces here not rolled up, and that's purely because I've just run out of silver. I just don't have enough to roll it up. And then I tried him out in a DPS build and then ended up swapping him to a tank build, and had to sort of roll up some gear for that as well, so I used all my silver up just to do that. So yeah, speed boots, you don't have to go that route. If you can get enough speed out of your build, defense boots would probably be better, but obviously I still want him going fast so that he's putting out the turn meter boost and the shield, not the shields, but the increased defense and everything that he does. Defense chest, defense gloves, I've put him in as much accuracy gear. All these have accuracy and speed substats where I can, and that's how we built them out. 193 speed, so not quite 200, but not bad at all. And as you saw, his accuracy is really solid. So that's him in the dragon. You've seen that. You've seen what sort of gear he's got on. And as you saw, this gear's not fully rolled up, and he still does really well. So we're going to take him into the arena, and I'm going to show you a couple of bits there. I did do a couple of trial runs with him in the arena, but that was with him as a damage build, which I don't feel is best for him. So we're going to try and show you what he can do. Yeah, this will do. Something like this. More powerful than me. So the only damage we're really going to get here is Arbiter and Hegemon. Hegemon being the main damage dealer, and even he's not built to be a big damage dealer. He's again there more the debuff. So we use Hegemon at the start. We lock out as many as we can. We've managed to get 3 of them. 10 meter boost. Lock them all out with Warlord. And again we get that increased defense and turn meter boost again. Let's try and stop her from going if we can. No. He's pretty tanky, so you know, survived. Get our shields up and block debuffs. Shame we didn't already have that up, but you know, you do what you can. So we try and take out the reviver. Might as well do this and do some damage to everybody. We'll put the weaken out there now. Weaken on everybody. She does a transfer debuff straight onto me. Cheeky cow. Okay. As you can see, we've pretty much got this tied up now. Lysandra can't do a thing on her own. She's a support champion herself. Decreased turn meter. And it's all over, folks. And as you can see, I mean, the provoke didn't really come into play there so much, but again, it's useful in the arena. Now I think what we are going to quickly try and do is run him into Doom Tower, and obviously the Magma Dragon's where we feel he's most useful. So what we're going for, we're going for floor 80 of the normal Doom Tower. This is the sort of team I was using before. Vogoth's there, but he's weak affinity, he's healing, he's provoking. Dr. Pierce is there, he's provoking, and all the rest of it. So, Magma Dragon, we're going to take out Vogoth. We're still going to get our healing from Mausoleum Mage here. We're going to put Tarshon in. We'll swap in Xavier for her boost. And we're just going to hit auto and see how it goes. So obviously we've all got increased defense up. Turn meter boost from Arbiter. Turn meter boost from Tarshon. That's the increased defense again. And you saw the provoke go out there. Obviously, I do wish his A1 was actually a double hitter. It would make him more viable for Fire Knight, which is the right affinity for. And it would also mean that his provoke has a much higher chance of landing. So we haven't got any provokes out there at the moment. Yeah, now we've got one out. I don't know if that came off of Duck or Tarshon, but either way we've got 2 champs here that do provoke, which means it's that little bit easier to keep it up more often. And there you go, nice and easy. 1 minute 6, actually my best time on that, faster than the last time. In fact, I tell you what, just for this video, it's going to make it a little bit longer, but you know, we've done arena, we've done a dungeon, we've talked through the rest of the dungeons. Faction Wars is going to be okay, full solid, you know, good support. We're actually going to try the hard one here. Now it's only hard floor 10, but it's still going to be higher than what we were on normal. So we'll take her out, put in Tarshon, and that will give us that. Oh, we had also a mage. And actually, you know what, we'll try that team again, see how it goes. See how this works. See, the enemies will be harder on this one, even though it's a lower floor, just because it's hard. We got the weaken out there. Unfortunately, nobody's getting that provoke out there yet. There we go, we got a provoke. I think it was off a duck, to be fair, not off a Tarshon, but you know, like I say, with his provoke only being 40% on a one hitter rather than a two hitter, I think he's better up being your sort of backup provoke. He still provides that increased defense, he still provides that turn meter boost, which again is going to help you get through this stuff a little bit quicker and a little bit safer. As you see, we've got a lot of support here. Nobody's even died yet. Not as fast a run as the last one was, obviously, and we are starting to get low on health. To be honest, my problem with the Doom Tower is I really struggle with the spider. Agarith, not the frost spider, the other one. Just because I don't have good enough cleansing. Obviously, I've got Morsley and Mage. He does a cleanse, but I kind of need a bit more than that, I think. So there you go. 1 minute 59, only 10 seconds slower than my fastest time. Still really solid, and you saw we weren't ever really in any trouble there. Again, not doing any damage, but just doing support, which is what she's there for. And he, she, whatever it is with this demon spawn thing going on, and the twisted legs, I'm not even sure if it is a he or a she, it could be an it. But, you know, are they the best champion out there? No, I don't think they are personally. And I don't think every champion should be, but if you've got gaps in your roster and you're needing somebody who can do the weaken, AoE weaken, 100% chance to land it, can't go wrong with that. Also brings the increased defense, also brings the turn meter boost, and also happens to have a provoke on the A1. It's almost incidental in a way. Like I say, if they'd made it a two hitter, then you'd have a much higher chance of landing, and that would have actually made him more viable for fights like this. And I personally feel there are ways that could have made this champion a bit better than he is. Having said that, like I say, if you've got those gaps in your roster, the turn meter boost is great, the increased defense is great, the weaken is great, even his own little passive that just puts strength on him when he's getting low on health can help keep him up. So yeah, all in all, he's a solid new champion to the game and a decent addition. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit that thumbs up button, it lets YouTube know it was a good video, and please hit the subscribe button if you want to see one of my future videos, and I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye.